Hello, animal communicators, and welcome to this week's free power training, the place to come for hints, tips, and sometimes whole strategies on how you can up level your communication work from ordinary to extraordinary. If you are watching me on YouTube, I would love if you clicked the follow button and click the bell so that you can be notified whenever I come live here. So, what I want to talk about today is something, it's about cost and looking at the true cost of not following our dreams. I feel very, very blessed. I know that I am living my life on purpose. I am fulfilling my soul's mission. My job on this earth is to help people like you be able to be a voice for the animals. That's what I'm here for. I'm super clear about that. I have the best job in the world. So, what I want to talk about today is something that really pains me very, very greatly, and it makes me cry every single time when I speak to people who have been trying to become animal communicators for years and years and years. The longest length of time I've known somebody actively trying to be an animal communicator is 30 years. That's 3 decades. That's a long time. That's a long time. For some people, that's half their life, more than half their life. It's a long time. But I do remember the first time I had a really strong emotional reaction to somebody. We were one to one chatting about where she was feeling stuck, how long she'd been trying to do this work. 10 years, a decade, that's a long time. So she was 10 years trying to learn how to communicate with animals. And I was just listening to her and I was aware of some sadness. I could feel that in my own body as an animal communicator and an empath. I feel that quite easily. But it suddenly began to be something much more. And I could actually feel the grieving like ripping through my body. And I knew it was her soul. Her soul was talking to me. It was the pain and the grief in her soul that I could feel as I was talking to her. And I just suddenly started to cry. It was just out there. First time ever I've cried like that with somebody in a conversation talking about my program. It's like, whoa, where did that come from? It was so, so strong. And I was completely overwhelmed by this loss, this grief. And without even consciously thinking, the words were out my mouth. What has this cost you? And she paused a minute and she said, oh, probably about £4,000. And that doesn't include the DVDs or the books, CDs. And I was like, no, I wasn't even thinking about money. I said, what has it cost you on a personal level? What has it cost you to not be following your dreams? And then she talked to me about the job that she's in, that she just, her words were, it just sucks the life out of me. Now, I'm also a trained shamanic practitioner. So I know when clients come to me feeling like the life's been sucked out of them, that they have no joy, they don't have any sense of purpose, they have no direction, they might have issues like depression, anxiety, frustration, anger, they've no kind of vive anymore. It's like it's all gone up, got up and gone. All of those things scream to me as a soul loss. So in shamanic terms, we would call that a soul loss. And when somebody is experiencing a soul loss, they're not living their full whole life. They're not in alignment with the soul's purpose. The soul is no longer whole. It happens to all of us. It's not anything to be freaked out about, but it does happen, and it explains why we feel that directionlessness. It's why we feel that lostness. It's why we have that yearning to be able to do something because we're not actually following that, and it's hurting our soul. It costs our soul. And so this video today is really about inviting you to think, what are the true costs to you right here today by not following your animal communication dreams? There'll be lots of different types of costs. There's financial cost, there's time cost, energy cost, physical cost. But what I want you to be thinking about is, what is the true cost? What costs of yours have been stacking up over time when you are not living the dream that you wanted to live with regards to animal communication? So if you wanted to be an animal communicator and you're still not 5 years on, 10 years on, 15 years on, what's the cost to you? What's the cost to you right now? What's the cost to your soul? Because it really means that when you have especially depression in shamanic terms is always a soul loss. So I remember a prospective student talking to me and really questioning whether she could be an animal communicator. She had chronic depression and was on medication for her depression, and she was really concerned that she might not be able to work through the layers of medication. So we had a conversation, and we looked at different ways that we could amend things to support her. And she took the gamble, and she said, "Do you know what? I've wanted to do this." I think she was about 15 years, wanted to do this for so long. I'm going to do it. I'm committed. So she came on the program. But here's the piece I want to share with you, because this is the most important part. She emailed me the very next day, and she said, "Sarah Jane, it's like the depression has just lifted." Now, I am not saying come join a program and your depression will go away. I'm not saying that. I would always advocate you get medical support, guidance, etc. But what I am saying, what I do know to be true from a shamanic practitioner perspective, depression is a soul loss. This woman was not following her soul's purpose. So she was depressed. She was out of alignment with what she was meant to be doing here on this earth. Once she made the decision to step back into alignment with what fuels her soul, what feeds her soul, and what she was really wanting to do at that deep soul level, the depression didn't need to be quite so obvious anymore. So it starts to lift, starts to shift. So I'm sharing that with you because it's a really powerful example of how, when we are living a life in limbo, when we feel like there's no direction, when we don't know what it is that we're meant to be doing, and you know that you have this deeply held desire to be an animal communicator, I just invite you to look at the alignment. Are you living a life and taking action that is in alignment with that soul's calling, or are you not? So I invite you today to just think about what is the true cost to you right here, right now, of not following your dreams. Because there is a cost, a very real cost that you will be feeling. You will be feeling it at that soul level. So I invite you to get clear around that. What is the cost to you for not doing the work that you were put on this earth to do, the work that you want to do, where you want to show up in joy for yourself and for the animals? What is the true cost to you? And if you are ready to move beyond that and to start living a life on purpose, to start living your life in alignment with your soul's calling, if you're ready to take that action now, I would love to spend some time with you, get clear on where you are, where you want to get to, and we can factor out what your best next steps are. I would be more than delighted. This is what I'm here for. This is me fulfilling my soul's purpose. This is what I do. This is what fuels me, gets me up in the morning. And I would love to help you get clear on how you can get back in alignment with your soul's purpose and what actions you are needing to take next to help you get that one step closer to where you are living a life in alignment with who you really are and how you really want to show up. You can contact me in the contact details above this post.